MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace as she breaks out the new color purple today.
Purple, yes.
What's the occasion?
I don't know. I just decided I was going to wear something different. So.
Big chain,
Usually,
boy, she's got it going on today.
This is my accessories.
Weather today, as we look at this. Now, the forecast is going to tell you, if you go to National Weather Service, they're going to tell you it's going to rain through about 8 a.m. Not so. It's got that little drizzly look outside. Let's go to radar and just show you what's really going on as we do this morning. We've got showers to the east. This is around 5:30 this morning. Eastern Lauderdale County had some. Not so much anymore. It's drifted on off toward Montgomery. The day looks good, but were you even aware of this going on up here in North Mississippi last night? We had our very first for the state of Mississippi freeze warning. Can you believe that? And the purple area was also an advisory there for a frost advisory, but frost in northern Mississippi.
Did you hear anybody commenting last week or when it was really cold that somebody saw snow out in Wynot? Did you see that?
That's Rodney Wing trying to get people come to his race.
No, it wasn't. It was a girl that does hair that I know out there, and she's like, I just saw a snow flurry.
That's somebody had dandruff. There wasn't no snow in Wynot.
Oh, my goodness. Well, look, it is cold today, though, y'all. I mean, it feels like you need a coat, not just a little lightweight jacket today. When I walked out a while ago, the wind was blowing. It was cold.
It's 48. It's been colder this week.
It's cold.
I ain't saying it won't cut you, but it is a tad warmer than it has been.
Well, if you got to stand out in it for an extended period of time, you better have a coat.
All right. Well, let's look at since you brought that up, just what's going to happen this week with weather. And as we pull this up, as we look at the forecast, today 59 is really all it's going to get. By tomorrow, we end the week with 62. Not so bad there, but 41 for a low. That's hovering there on that 30-degree mark. You know, that we were expecting it to have our very first 30-degree weather.
Yeah.
We'll watch all this. It could change. It's Mother Nature. But we'll start warming back up here toward the beginning of the week next week to the 70s. Okay. A little warming trend there for us. Not bad, though.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be a little colder this weekend, but I'm kind of glad it's not because we'll be sitting out watching baseball. So.
It is definitely time for chili. I have not done the first batch. I love eating it when it's cold weather. It goes together, doesn't it?
Yeah, chili is good. I like any kind of soups, but now my husband is not a soup eater. He don't like it. He says it doesn't have enough meat in it.
Not enough meat.
But I mean, I made chicken noodle soup the other night, like a homemade chicken noodle soup, and he ate it one time. He's like, I ain't eating it again. I love it.
I love chicken noodle soup. And it's that's the soup that you go to when you don't feel well, isn't it? If you're sick, you got to do that. Let's see. We got a few good mornings of folks up starting to stir a little bit today.
Yes, Reggie McKee is up, and good morning. And Pat and Jim Coker, good morning from Hickory, Mississippi. And Brian Troy, he's watching, and good morning from Hallie Grace and his self.
From Collinsville, Mississippi, welcome Denise Covington. We appreciate you watching out there.
Yes, Linda Jane Lunsford, Ray Strabick, Tiffany Crawford Allen, she's watching. She says, Happy Friday Eve. I'm ready for the weekend. Yeah. And Terry Shelton, good morning to you.
Linda Jane, you still got that petition going on trying to get your road paved? Not but like 30 miles back there where you live. Bless her heart. I think we all remember this as a kid. All of us had dirt roads. I grew up on a dirt road because in Scuba, Mississippi, it was just unheard of to have paved. Only the main street had it. And then you put your clothes on the line and hear somebody come, boogie there. And it'd mess up your clothes on the line. Yeah, they'd have to rewash everything because it got dust on it.
Yeah. Those line-dried clothes.
I can remember my daddy going out with a water hose in front of the house and wetting the road down where the dust wouldn't come out. Really? That's how old I am.
Oh. Well, there was, like, out where we live, I can remember there was a lot of dirt roads that are now paved. But I'm glad. Of course, there's a lot of paved roads that need some work now. So
it is.
I wish they could get to that.
North Hill Street, you might lose your car. There was a girl, and I don't have her name in front of me, and I wish I did. But she was on television a little bit in Jackson as a reporter, and she also performed as a comedian. And she did a song about Jackson, Mississippi, and potholes. And for the life of me, I can't remember her name. But it was a good R&B song, and it was about the potholes in Jackson. And I'm going nowhere here because I can't remember her name.
Well, songs like Dirt Roads and songs remind me of Brooks and Dunn.
That red dirt road?
Red dirt road, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Coming up, we're going to have a special guest in the studio with us all the way from Meridian Community College, Miss Ashley Tanksley. Now, she's going to be talking about, are you the first in your family that's ever made it to college? I'm going to talk to her about, is there such thing as a thing of the only one that didn't make it to college out of your family? Whoops, that'd be me.
I'm sure there is.
You know, I really wanted to finish, and then they had those restrictions, like you had to be there by 8 a.m., and I was young.
I thought you was going to say you can't wear your boots and cowboy hats.
Oh, they let me do that.
Okay.
I can remember going to Dr. Demonshell's class. And I made it to class on time, and I got a standing ovation from everybody. But I was working radio at night trying to go to college, and it just got to where I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And then Runt-Row.
I remember D. Michelle.
Yeah, he was such a great guy. Always told a story, and I learned. And you know, really and truly, teachers really make what you do. There are some teachers that really paint a picture, and you become a part of what they're teaching.
Right.
And you always remember them.
I loved it up at Scuba. I mean, I loved it because it was small, and you kind of knew everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, the teachers were really nice. And good at what they did.
You were just a cheerleader, and you were just glad to
I
get on
was a cheerleader.
You were just
I was,
glad to
but
be
I
on the
was,
team.
Look, I was in the cosmetology program, but I also got to see all the other teachers and stuff. They would come get haircuts and get their hair done, the students and the teachers. So I got to meet a lot of people, and I loved it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it is a Thursday morning, believe it or not, as this travels on. It is so hard to believe that we've made it to Thursday, the end of the week. This is November the 4th. I celebrated our anniversary of 31 years yesterday of eating my supper and going to bed early.
And you got her, what?
She got everything she wants after 31 years. You think I'm going to get something? I mean, honestly.
You better give her a big old hug, Scotty Ray.
I'm trying to remember all that, but... You know, we've reached that point of there's no reason for a present after 30 years.
I know. You kind of get that like that. I mean, even...
I tried it the first year and it didn't work out for me. But after about 8, it got better.
Oh, okay. After 8. Okay.
So you still buying presents for years after a year?
We did. I think, we did a card or something. You know, it's not for an anniversary, but his birthday's coming up, so I do.
All right, Ashley, we got our special guest, Ashley. Before we go to commercial and go to talking about what she's here to talk about, Ashley, let me flip over here to you. Are you married?
No.
No. Are you dating anybody yet?
Not at
Look,
time,
Scotty Ray.
But I would definitely want a present. 31, 45, 50.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And look, Scotty Ray, I know what he's getting at.
What am I getting at?
He's a matchmaker.
Oh, match me up, Scotty.
Look, I got her married. I have got more people married than you realize. So, get in touch with me.
With my husband.
Match me up, Scotty.
I can do it. I had somebody contact me last week. Let's see. I got a 49-year-old lady that needs a husband, and I got all ages.
It's so crazy.
So, look. Y'all inbox me, and I'll see if I can't find you a match. Them people ain't got nothing on me.
We really need to have a segment in the show with the dating game song playing in the background. Matchmakers, Scotty.
It can be done.
Yeah.
Thank you. And coming up, you'll tell us all about what's going on at Meridian Community College. We are so looking forward to hearing from you because it is a special deal to do what you do. And we'll find out more in just a moment. So hang tight. Don't go anywhere. As we turn our thoughts to our friends down at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, a big deal is happening. If you hadn't been to the Farm Supply, this is their Christmas open house as they get ready for this tomorrow. If you need an ornament for the house, and a lot of people, you probably do this, Candace, to where you buy an ornament each year and you pass it on to the kids and you decorate together.
Well, I do buy an ornament. I try to buy an ornament each year, and especially for the younger ones, and put the date on it and all that.
And she's meaning younger than 79.
Yeah.
That's what she's getting at there.
But, of course, they'll get all my decorations one day when I pass away. But they also, at the co-op, they do custom orders. So
yes.
if you would like something specific, just
They've
let
got
me know.
it. For the hunter on your list, rice bran, they've got that. And if you want to do the ton of corn for Christmas with a gift certificate, they do that also. It's the perfect gift for the hunter. Deer attractants throughout the place, from deer cocaine, you can take a part of that If you haven't planted yet, or if you got some ball spots coming up in your patches, go back and check out the Rackmaster, the Tecumani seed, all of this, including this new triple grip corn that has the soybeans, the peanuts, all of this mixed in with deer cameras. See them there. They've got them for you, along with scales and tents, and it's going to get muddy, so you'll need a new set of work boots or, well, mud boots. They've got them there. Pet supplies and a whole lot more there as you go through the gift shop. On down the corner, you'll head to where? There's the corn and seed. They've got it, guns and ammo, and a whole lot more. See them today at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Why do bikers hire us after their accident? Let's ask them.
I was doing about 25 mile an hour. Truck crossed the yellow line, hit me. I went flying through the air, my leg didn't. I landed about 150 feet from the bike. Broke 8 ribs, front and rear, and I needed to get my medical bills down and get the most money I could. I called Richard Schwartz. They lowered my medical bills. If you've been hurt on a bike, call attorney Richard Schwartz.
You know what to do. One call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. As we mentioned, our special guest, Miss Ashley Tanksley. Where did you grow up? Let me ask you that.
Right. So I am born and raised from Meridian, Mississippi.
So did you go to Meridian High?
Yes, I did. The high school.
Well, there you go. And since you brought that up, we encourage tonight is the last home game at Meridian High School. We're all aware there was a little incident last week, but they're encouraging everybody to come out to show that, hey, just because something bad happened or could have happened, we want support. So come out to that. That's going to happen there. What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 2013.
Woo! You've been graduated 6 years now, and you still not married? I'm worried.
That's a good thing. Take your time. Pick a good one.
Yeah, got to take your time.
So I was married at 21. Boy,
Wow.
was she?
Wow.
I was too. I was a month away from turning 21, I think, when I got married.
Month away?
A month away from turning 21 when I
Well,
got
she
married.
knew time was running out, as we see over here, and she jumped right on that bandwagon. But with all seriousness, Ashley, we thank you for coming out. Now, tell us, MCC has this coming up in a couple of days, the event of if you're a first-time college student in your family.
Right. So we are hosting our first generation celebration, and it is scheduled to take place next Monday on November the 8th at 10:30 in our Student Life Center. This event is not only for our students, but our faculty, staff, and community. If you are the first person to go to college in your family, well, it kind of gets a little sticky. So a lot of people think, just the first ever in your family. But it's actually, mom and dad may not have went. So aunts and uncles, sister and brother could have went. But
You're talking immediate family is what you're talking.
First, that generation. So if you're the first student in your generation to go, we're celebrating.
Now, what do you have to do to sign up for this? Do you just
come on out? I mean, it's going to take place, like I said, November the 8th at 10:30 a.m. in our Student Life Center in the Quave. And so that is on our campus, and I think the address is 910 Highway 19 North, Meridian, Mississippi, 39305.
Any milk and cookies to entice people that like me that might want to just come watch?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a guest speaker. There's going to be some goodies like T-shirts, giveaways. And we will have food. Light refreshments always brings out a good crowd.
And it's so amazing that, and we don't talk about this much, my son Dylan Ray graduated from there a few years back, went on to Mississippi State. Meridian Community College is a great place to begin and start, and y'all offer so much.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes, sir. We have over 40 career and technical programs. We have, of course, a wonderful university transfer route for those students that may want to go off to a university or college after MCC. And you would be surprised how many of those students, this is their first. So they don't have any guidance or anyone instructing them what to do. And I love to share my story. So I'm a first generation college student.
Are you?
And I did not attend MCC. I went off to Jackson State University. But I remember going, and there's an application called the FAFSA, but it stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Mm-hmm. And I fill this out, and I'm like, okay, good. I'm all good to go. And I got a few scholarships, right?
Right.
And I'm sitting in class like that first week, and the professor calls my name and a few others' name on the roll. And she's like, after class, I need you to see me. So I'm like, okay. I wait after class, and then she was like, you're going to have to go to the business office or financial aid because you don't have enough funds. And if you don't have your money by the end of the week, you will be removed from my class.
Uh-oh.
So I literally did not
panic.
know. Like, I just signed up and I got my class schedule, and I was just going to class. But it's funny now. You know, now
Looking
I'm the
back.
director of admissions
Wasn't then,
at a
though, was
college. But then it was not funny. But so many students face those type of obstacles
Correct.
that they just don't know. And so it's our job to educate them. And we want to just take an opportunity to say, congratulations. We know where you've been, but you can keep moving forward. So it's going to be a lot of mingling, a lot of chance to give students to talk to others. You know, our vice president is going to be there, and he's also a first gen. So
Let me ask this: does MCC still have the program going if you graduate from Lauderdale County that tuition is free? Is that still
right? So we still have our tuition guarantee program. There are some stipulations, like as you said, Mr. Scotty, you have to graduate from a school within Lauderdale County, and you have to live in Lauderdale County. And so there are some additional stipulations, but those are the main two.
You know, when I went to college, you know, I went on financial. I had to do financial aid to go because there's a lot of people who just can't afford to go.
That's right.
You know, they are. And I think it's a great thing that you're honoring these people who are going first-time college students, because a lot of parents, maybe they were not in a situation where they could have gone, you know. And it's a proud moment, I would think, as a parent, that you see your child get to go do things that you didn't get to do, you know.
It's
So
touching.
I think it's great y'all are doing that.
So let's ask the next big question here. Did you take part in the big candy cruise where y'all gave away the candy out there?
So this year, I participated on the other end of things. I brought my children. I have two small babies. They're ages 3 and 4. And so we were in line this year.
It is a huge hit.
Yeah, it is. And this is our second year. So last year was pretty big.
Everywhere. I remember the first time I wasn't really aware of what y'all were doing that very first year, and I kept getting calls going, "What's going on? The traffic's kind of backed up out at," and then that's what y'all were doing.
Don't you just love it, though? Because I know if you're like me, I eat their candy. Like I'm like, oh, that's too hard for you. Can't have that.
Like, let me get that.
Yeah, let me weed out all stuff you can't have. There's your 2 things left.
My children don't eat chocolate, so I collected all of their chocolate.
Oh,
and
weren't
put it
you
in a
lucky?
bag, and we took it to work. So I have a bowl with chocolate.
People come hang out in your office now, don't they?
You guys come and see me in admissions at MCC. You can get some chocolate, and we can get you signed up for school.
There you go. And again, give us the dates now. All of this is going to happen in the times and which theater it will be in.
Right. So this event is the First Generation Celebration. It will take place on November the 8th, which is this upcoming Monday at 10:30 in our David H. Quaid. And now for you all that may not be first generation a college student yet, not too late. Classes will begin on January the 3rd, and if new students can get signed up November the 15th. So we're taking applications, get your documents in, and we'll get you in.
So you got a great attitude, and that's what I was talking about a minute ago with teachers that are influencers that really care about what they do. You got a little taste of it there.
Well, thank you.
And you know, a lot of times certain college classes would not be for everybody. There's like y'all have trade things.
Right.
Welding.
You have
Right.
cosmetology. Don't you still have
Yes,
that?
sir. Yes, we have a lot of different programs, like you said, for those students that want to my hands. I need to use my hands to learn.
Yes. Right.
And we do have those programs. And so anything, like you said, from cosmetology to culinary
Truck
driving, welding, industrial maintenance. I mean, the list goes on.
Right. I think that's great.
It is. Ashley, we can't thank you enough for coming out and representing Meridian Community College with us this morning. Thank you, and you're welcome back anytime to come back, and we're going to work on a boyfriend for you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Just come sit and chat with us. Thank you.
Again, that's Miss Ashley Tanksley, who joined us this morning from Meridian Community College. Very nice of her and the community college for sending her out. Had a great time with that. And it is a big deal. The first person in your family to get to attend college.
Yes.
Big deal. So we support that.
We do.
As we begin this Tuesday, let me go over a few headlines that's out there. Outraged from a family. And I really kind of understand where they're going on. There's a lot of people that want to help people, and they donate their organs, their body to science to help people. This involved a 98-year-old World War II veteran. He donated his body, and the next thing you know, they're having a seminar with the man's body. That's the wrong story there. They took him and placed him in what you would call like an auditorium. They charged $500 a ticket to watch the autopsy. The family
and
is...
They didn't ask the family.
No, they just did it. It was given to, for science, for study. And the family assumed it would be students that watched and learned. They didn't know that they would charge tickets to watch this.
Yeah.
It was videoed the whole 9 yards. The family is outraged. It's a big lawsuit beginning on this.
That's so disrespectful to me.
I
mean, I could understand if it was like medical students,
right,
something like that. But yeah,
He
to
did-
profit off of somebody watching your loved one.
He did pass away from COVID, and then they done the test to make absolutely sure nobody could do that. But it was done in a ballroom, like you go to the hotel.
Yeah.
That's
Like an event.
And that will forever, that's a scar on the family.
That's horrible.
That's one of those stories to where I read it and I go, are you sure?
Uh-huh.
But that did happen.
Crazy.
We got this story yesterday. And this rarely happens. How many times? Donna Jill touched on this the other day about write-ins on ballots.
Uh-huh. But this is a very smart idea. Very smart idea.
And I'll let you get into this, but this was Buffalo, New York, where all of this happened.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he lost in one of the primaries.
He did. He was running he was on the Democrat ticket. He gets beat. This other guy is what you would call left and very progressive, I think is the word. Far from the core of what it used to be.
Right.
And then with everything going on in the nation as how they've turned out, people urged him to run again.
Kind of like a movement, like what's going on now.
It's like, we don't really want this guy on the ballot.
Yeah, they didn't like their choices.
Correct.
So they were going to put their own choice in there, which was him.
A write-in. And he passed out even stamps to use his name. He wins it.
They stamped his name in, so there would be no kind of mix up if somebody spelled it wrong or, so they couldn't disqualify the ballot.
Yeah, you can Google the story. The guy's name is Byron Brown. He declares victory over the socialist challenger. And that's what you call...
For Buffalo, New York. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to be really, for the folks of New York to go, yeah, you're a little bit too far for me. You really got to be socialist. That socialist movement... looks as though it's getting crushed at this point because look at our economy. Look what has happened over the last 6 months.
Well, people are sick and tired of it. Like I've said over and over, they're tired of it. I mean, they're tired of people playing games with their money. They're tired of people playing games with the heads of their children, and just running the country in the ground. I mean, so anyway. We want to say a happy birthday this morning. We have Steve and Wanda McKinnon says happy birthday to their niece, Anna Pippin. So, Anna, happy birthday. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday.
Who we got going to the Smoky Mountains over here?
Let's see. Oh, Frances Weathers. She and her husband, Doug, they're on their way to go to the Smoky Mountains. I'm jealous, Frances. I wish we were headed to the Smoky Mountains.
This time of year is absolutely beautiful up there.
I've always wanted to go see the leaves changing and stuff like that. I hope it's a beautiful, trip for y'all.
I had to look at Miss Mississippi's daddy's pictures. They were up there this weekend in the Smokies, and boy, you want to talk about some pictures that just really grab you.
I have a friend. Let me just tell y'all, for all y'all Hallmark loving people. Scotty Ray would be one. And my husband. Of course, I'm being funny because I can't stand it. But anyway, if you watch the Hallmark Channel, a friend of mine's son is taking his fiance to this place in Washington called Leavenworth. And
It's a prison, isn't it?
No, it's Leavenworth.
You sure that's not a prison?
It's Leavenworth, Washington. There is like a Hallmark town. It's Christmas everywhere. They're going to have like gingerbread making contests and all kind of neat things that like something you'd see off the Hallmark Channel. So I'm jealous about that too.
It's full of women and very little men in this town.
Scotty Ray, that would be a wonderful gift for you to give Angie. 1 year for y'all's anniversary.
Can you imagine being trapped in a Hallmark town?
I would love it. Love it. Just Christmas everywhere.
It's constantly people smiling that are rich that never work, and they've got to save the town of their little Christmas program.
Well, this says Christmas lights are on 24 hours a day up until February, from November to February. I cannot even talk. But yeah. So it's really neat. There's events for children to do. You can you can ski, you can sled, you can do inner tubing on the snow. all kind of neat things.
How come they never have a story about the woman who's trying to figure out when she's going to have time to wash the clothes and she's trying to whoop up some supper and can't pay off the layaway down at the Kmart? They never have that story on Hallmark.
I know. I need to think up a story for them.
It's just, I don't.
Storyline.
The storylines bother me. It's and maybe people want that fantasy, and maybe I'm overthinking this. They want that fantasy away from their life to make them. Is that what it is?
They need a Hallmark movie that the husband hates like Hallmark stuff or hates like holiday-ish stuff.
Well, that'd be everybody in the South.
You know, she falls and bumps her head, and like when she wakes up, her husband's all about it. You know, that's what they need, one of those.
Those shows, I tell you. Jeremiah Johnson said it's elk season up in the Smokies. Would be a great time to go there. I believe it. Cooksville. Glad y'all are watching, Miss Peggy Simmons. We appreciate that. And all the way from Raleigh, North Carolina, we welcome Wayne Roberts watching this morning. Thank y'all.
Okay. Yeah, they said they made it back from Raleigh, North Carolina. So they're here now. Yeah. I would have said the same thing if I'd have just glanced.
It got kind of blurry over there. I can't see that far anymore.
But they've been in Raleigh, North Carolina, and they have made it back. So glad y'all made it back safe.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jeremiah Johnson.
What did he say?
He wants you to match mate for him. He says, ship him a blonde.
Ship him a blonde?
Yeah.
I do all kinds of things like that.
Goodness.
From Little Rock, we welcome Laura Orfley. Glad that you're watching this morning. Now, what happens when you get elderly and, well, maybe this kind of falls along on this and you can't get dates like you used to? And you need a little encouragement to lure the ladies on in. Let's say that maybe your job is a pharmacist.
Okay.
You're ahead of the game here, aren't you? Well, this happened in Pennsylvania. He's going to be going to the jailhouse now because, well, he was trading prescription drugs for whoopee. 81-year-old pharmacist in Pennsylvania.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, there's really no stories out there that doesn't happen across America that you can't imagine.
Pharmacists are usually like busy and don't have a whole lot of time. He must have a lot of time on his hands.
Well, he was really busy.
Yeah.
Trading out things. You do for me, I'll do for you. But yeah, he'll have a little time to think about this now.
Yeah, he will. Goodness.
That one shocked me. I'll be honest with you.
That would be a shock. That is a shocking story, you know.
Here's one where I think I guess we'll go to Dallas, Texas, where they had their little get together. Now I really love a great conspiracy theory because they're entertaining. They really grab your attention. But this one is a little far. I don't say anybody could believe this. You've heard the term. Is it QAnon?
Yeah, QAnon.
QAnon. Well, they got to thinking that JFK Jr. was not really dead. That he did not crash in that airplane, in 1999?
I will say this is not the first time I've heard this.
This is the very first time I've heard that.
Yeah, I've heard this. I had heard this.
And you didn't say anything to me?
Well, I mean, you know, some people believe stuff that they read and some people don't.
I probably would have laughed at you.
I don't know. I'm just telling you. I don't know. I don't know about coming back to run or anything like that. But I will say when all that mess happened, it was very, very odd to me that it was kind of a hush-hush thing. Like, they immediately, I think, took him and cremated him. Like Bill Clinton, I think, wasn't he president then when that happened?
I'd have to go look at
it was just odd to me. A lot of the different things that happened.
Breaking news, JFK went down in an airplane in 1999 and did die.
Yeah.
But these folks think that he's not dead and is going to be Trump's running mate in 24.
Yeah.
And
that's a little far-fetched right there.
And they even said that he was going to show up this week there at the grassy knoll. So they all gathered together with their signs, and he never showed. So then they went to a ball game and said, oh, he's going to come over here. You know what? He ain't showed up there yet either.
Yeah.
He ain't going to show up there either. Because you know what? He passed away in 99.
There is a lot of conspiracy theories going on, for sure.
Now, seriously,
I will say some of this stuff that they had said that they had predicted was going to happen, some of it has kind of come to play. So you never know.
Didn't have anything to do with him, did it?
I don't think so.
Okay, I was just checking.
I don't know.
But again, they are entertaining.
Yeah.
That one was just so far-fetched. And that's how that thing happened there that time with the pizza thing that happened up there. It was conspiracy theory where the guy got to listen to all this about the word pizza being a Q word for kidnapping children. Next thing you know, he bust up in there with a gun to save the kids, and there weren't any kids.
Yeah. I really do think there's some sick people in this world.
Oh, there
though.
absolutely is, but I don't think it had anything to do with pizza. And he just took it a little too far there. Whew. Let's see, other headlines this weekend. If you're a big Packers fan, you're not going to see your boy out there with the ball. Aaron Rodgers will not be playing because he come down with COVID. And
He claimed he was immunized, but turns out he was not immunized. I think he was not vaccinated, but he claimed he was. Supposedly he did some other kind of something
alternative type thing. You can't help but giggle sometimes. I was amongst a group this past week, and it was an old boy that was against getting the shot, and he got to bragging about that he took, what is that horse pill?
Ivermectin.
Yeah, and the funny part of the story was he did get COVID and got sick, even though he was taking it. He thought he was, he had forgotten that he got it, and it was a laughing matter.
Yeah, but people who have had the shot, they get it too. So.
Oh yeah,
and some people have passed away, but
he done broke out to laughing about that.
Yeah.
He was protected, and he got it just like everybody else. That stuff is serious.
Yeah, I would never. I do think it is it is a medicine that can treat it. It definitely is. Don't go out and get the horse version or the
doctors,
the cattle version.
Doctors got that stuff.
The doctors can give the prescription in pill form, I think.
That's correct. Right dosage.
Do it the right way.
Yeah. Scotty Ray and Candace on this morning. It's already 8:30. Can y'all believe that?
I know it.
We've got more coming up here in just a few moments here with Scotty Ray and Candace. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has great specials this week, like Idaho potatoes, 5-pound bag for $2.99. Green bell peppers, 89 cents each. Piggly Wiggly Original Mayonnaise, 30-ounce jar for only $1.99. Kellogg Pop-Tarts, 8-count, 2 for $5. And it's hard to resist those New York strip steaks, $9.99 a pound for the family pack. Leg quarters, a 10-pound bag for only $5.99. You'll find these deals and so many more at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we go down memory lane today. Now, this is that part to where I think Abe Lincoln was really glad that electricity had not been invented. I really do, because you could blow out the thing and never take the chance of the light coming back on after you went to sleep. 1842, Abe, well, he married well. He married Mary Todd. She might have had a lot of money with a lot of family influence, is all I'm saying.
What you saying, Scotty Ray?
I think he married her for a reason. But they did get married on this date, and she was kind of scary. Matter of fact, she has some issues up in there.
Did she?
She honestly, she
mentally
that
unstable.
man, he had a war going on. He had to deal with all that, and then he had her.
Is that why he always looks so disappointed?
If you rolled over and the candle come on, and you saw that, wouldn't you?
Goodness gracious!
Bless her heart.
She might have been sweet as she could be.
Now, do you believe in? Let me say, in curses. Let me ask that. Do you believe in those?
I don't know. I don't know.
This is kind of like that conspiracy theory thing, to where this was the day back in 1922 that they found and opened the door of King Tut's tomb. It was found in that seal crack. And if you go back and read into history, every single one of them that was there when that door was cracked, something bad happened to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every one of them died. And they say it was the curse of King Tut.
It's kind of like the, what is it, the one with Harrison Ford?
Raiders of
the Lost Ark. Because that was kind of like that.
Yeah.
Anybody that tried to get the
Holy Grail?
Yeah, the Holy Grail. Something happened to him.
Interesting. But King Tut, if you've never read that story, go back and look on that. They searched and searched for that thing for years, and it was like a capsule. And there's more.
I would love to
there.
go see stuff like that now. I love archaeological type stuff and science.
That's Valley of the Kings is where that is. And I'm not sure. I wonder if they do tours of that to where you could actually go down to the tomb now and take a look. I've never been there.
I don't know. I'd be scared something happened to me.
The pyramids just, it could get you, couldn't it?
It could.
I bet you there's more secret passages in these pyramids than they know. And you'll start seeing drones and things like that probably go in places to where humans couldn't crawl before.
It would scare me going down in something like that that's been there for thousands of years.
Because we watched Harrison Ford and the Snakes come out.
Yeah, or like, what if something collapsed? I mean, it might not be stable down in there.
That's true.
I don't know. That'd be my luck. It'd shut me up in there.
Do you remember the term, and that's the way it was? It was on this date that Walter Cronkite was born in 1916. And I think this was truly a different time in America, to where when the news came on, you really trusted what was told. Walter was not one way or the other. It was just the way it was.
Right.
Is the way he closed out each broadcast.
Neutral.
Yeah.
You don't see that a whole lot.
Lindsay said it was the Ark of the Covenant that had all of that. And that was, you remember they closed their eyes. He said, "Don't open your eyes." And they opened it. And
Okay.
that was a good show.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else happened on this date? Doris Roberts, I think y'all know who this is after I show her picture. Everybody Loves Raymond. She was the mom on the show. She was born on this date back in 25. A lot of celebrity birthdays. And she really did play that part well, to where she meddled into her son's family all the time.
Oh, yeah. And she would cut her daughter-in-law down.
Yeah.
In a nice, like
she could cook.
She was trying to compliment her, but she would cut her to the bone.
There's families, and I think what works so well with that show, there's so many families like that. You got one brother that's never married and still lives with mom and dad.
Yeah.
And then mom's going to go interfere with the son across the street and his family.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good show. But she and the husband, they both passed away now.
They have, just unexpectedly. Back in the 70s, this was like a hot, smoking woman. I think a lot of people tuned in each week just to watch it, to see she'd wear this T-shirt on the TV show. And little Loretta Swift was born on this date. Hot Lips Houlihan was her name. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. We used to watch MASH all the time. Did she ever star in anything else? I don't remember her being in any other shows.
I cannot remember
this.
anything with her being on it. Let me see. I had a message.
Is she passed away now? I mean, I wonder if she's still alive.
I think she's still alive.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken here. I was looking. Oh, here it is. I wanted to bring this up because this is coming up before long. MeTV is going to be airing the final episode of this, which was big. I did not realize all this. It was as big as, let me see some of these TV shows. Who Shot JR?
Is this when they got out?
Yeah, when it closed down.
I remember.
Bugging out. This is coming up on the 11th. They're going to, November the 6th, from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. Now, they're going to cut away from Andy Griffith to carry this show. But if you want to see the final episode when Klinger finally got to go home, it's going to happen there. That was a big show. So check all that out on November the 11th.
Alda.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was Frank. I never put her with Frank. And, they often dated there on the show.
The guy that was a surgeon with Alan Alda. They were both surgeons, weren't they?
Yeah, and she had the little fling going on with, Yeah, I just wouldn't have put them two together, just saying there. 1969, you know this guy. He was born, Matthew McConaughey. Didn't he grow up to go do all the Lincoln commercials?
Yeah.
And do it in that deep voice?
Yeah, he does. He does the Lincoln. I think it's Lincoln.
Yeah, then they made fun of him, and I won't go into how they made fun of him on YouTube about those TV commercials, but Google it. It's hilarious.
Wasn't he going to run for some kind of office, possibly, at one
Texas
time?
governor, wasn't it?
I think I'd heard where he might.
And I don't think that's ruled out just yet, that he may still do that.
Yeah.
You probably know a lot of this guy's song, but Puff Daddy has a birthday today also. Sean Combs. You know, seriously, do you know any songs that he sings?
No.
I don't either, but he's big. I do know that. So Puff Daddy having a birthday today. Let's see, 1975, the last, I could say the direct link as far as women would pass away. 1975, Miss Audrey passed away at the age of 52, Hank Williams' first wife.
Is this Hank Williams Jr. in his lap?
Yes, that's Junior there.
Okay.
Right there, 3 years old. And 75, I didn't realize that she was so young. I thought Audrey was older than that. Died of heart disease, if I remember correctly.
52, that's young.
Yeah, it was. And she still lived in one of the homes there that her and Hank had. And she would open up the door and tell stories about Hank if you knocked on it and talked to her there. But she was the driving force. We would not have a Hank Williams if it wasn't for Audrey. She pushed and she pushed and she pushed a little more. And did the same thing with Hank Jr., dragging him out at 7 and 8 years old to learn how to sing on stage. You would be without two if it had not been for her. She may have went about it a little bit differently, but You have to thank her for all
Women
that.
played a big role in some of these male country stars. I mean, they really did. Settled some of them down, you know, helped them get to fame.
All my rowdy friends have settled down. Denise said the last episode of MASH was unexpected and sad. It was. I remember watching that and the helicopter flying off into the end there. I had to be young, really. So we'll see there. 1979, you would wake up and this was going on. It began on this date when our people were taken hostage in Iran. Jimmy Carter would bungle the entire thing. It never worked out for him. It would be the night that Ronald Reagan was elected that we sent folks over and got them out. And it was a new sheriff in town and got our hostages out.
This sounds a lot like the Afghanistan thing.
It does. He even sent somebody over and it wasn't put together right. I didn't know what to do as a leader. A nice gentleman. He does great things for other countries, humanitarian, but
they build houses, or over in Georgia.
Yeah. We just thought Jimmy was the worst president ever in history. He's been taken down a notch. Yeah. We have a new player in town. But that's sort of what went on this date in history there. I hope some of that brought back memories. But I can remember, and maybe you do too. You were young. 79, I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. And I remember seeing that on television every night of those people blindfolded and them demanding money from America. And I had never witnessed anything. I didn't even know that could take place.
Yeah.
And it taught you the bitter truth about what the real world is.
Right. Horrible. I mean, and anybody who has ever seen any of that kind of footage happening on TV back then, or like, after 9/11, some of the stuff that's happened,
Right.
Like, why would you even remotely take a chance on leaving people behind over there to have to go through any of that same kind of thing? Because there's stuff going on over there that we just haven't even heard about, probably.
What flashes through my mind? Who remembers? Was it Rambo 2, to where, they send him back to take pictures, don't do anything, and he's supposed to meet the helicopter, and he's got the one POW with him. He's pulling up to it, and the enemy's chasing him, and he gets right to the helicopter, and they fly off and leave him. It's probably kind of how it was there with all of that. It said, Jimmy built a house in the city of Newton. I was working for the city then. I didn't know Jimmy Carter did that. But, I give kudos where kudos are due. Jimmy Carter was a great humanitarian and did care about his fellow man. He just was not a president. And that's the nicest way that I can put it. He knew all about peanuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And little Amy. I think she's grown up now.
I don't know.
Married, the whole 9 yards. Somebody figured out they're going to take over the peanut farm. Married that old girl quick. As we turn to talk about our friends at Godwin Cleaning Services, if you haven't called them yet, get ready for this, because we do have a lot of holidays coming up. If you want to get your home ready or your business ready for the holiday season, talk to them. Make it look new again, as Harry Mayer did, of getting your awnings clean. A few of us in town have these, and they can do it with a low pressurized system that's not going to tear up anything. It's great. As you look at your home, you really want it to look the best, because that's a big investment.
Right, it is.
And and this stuff right here, you've seen this. That's where an air conditioner vent runs out from the second story.
Yeah, and a lot of people might try to replace these boards or replace things that have damage on them, but like with water stains or rust or whatever, but they can come in and they can do that soft wash and get rid of it, make it look brand new.
It saves you money is what Candace is really getting down to. Talk to them about it. This is a shop. They're metal. It looks brand new after they're done. And as we move to the roofs, shockingly for us, this can be done on shingles, slate roofs, asphalt. It can be done so quickly to make your home look like it did when you built it.
Right.
Very, very affordable. See them? Talk to them about this. They even do all of this work right here. And we're talking rock. Maybe you've got some brick. Or a sidewalk. Whatever it is, get prepared for the holidays, whether it's New Year's, Thanksgiving, or Christmas, and get on the list and get your stuff taken care of and make it look great again for your holiday event. It's Godwin Cleaning Services right here in the Meridian area.
I was heading over to Meridian, and I was involved in a serious accident. I never made it to Meridian. I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
It just got serious up in here. Candace just ordered a pizza. That girl is hungry. She's already texted going, bring me a pizza now.
Look, don't think I wouldn't eat one if I had one in front of me right now. I'm about to starve.
Now that you bring that up, I would love something. We need to do that segment on you cooking waffles. Can you do
Cooking waffles.
Can you do
We need to have
homemade
Kurt on here.
pancakes?
I can, but we need to have Kurt on here doing French toast. He does the best French toast.
That's like garlic bread, am I right?
No.
Because
no.
I've had something called French toast one time.
French toast is like what you eat. It tastes like, you eat it with like syrup on it, like pancakes. It's
I don't
like,
guess I've ever had it.
It's toast or it's bread, and you dip it in like the egg.
It really does look like.
And then you fry it on, like, put it on the griddle.
No, I know I haven't
brown
had
it. And then you, like, sprinkle it with cinnamon and confectioner's sugar. And then it's really good.
Maybe it was
Really,
just that
really
I
good.
grew up in Scuba and we didn't have any more, and I was told that's what that was. We had French bread and thought that was.
But we need some, we do need some, like, breakfast samples or something one morning.
I love me some of that.
No,
but
sorry. Yeah.
waffles are great. You
They
got to
are.
put the
They are.
right amount of butter on it with the right amount of Mrs. Buttersworth, and then you got something going on.
Right. Yeah. They like blueberry waffles. I love that.
Can you actually eat that without getting the syrup all over you?
I don't know.
I'm always sticky
Yeah.
after I eat
Let
that.
it drip. Yeah, dripping on you.
You ought to get it up in this mess here.
A flavor saver.
I have heard that. I have. Oh.
Look, I want to say Daphne Childs wants to tell her dad happy 52nd anniversary, and that she knows that her mom is telling him the same from heaven.
Oh, there you go.
That is so sweet. Her mom and daddy were always really, really sweet people.
I love the line Chad Fox put up there. Miss Audrey loved that man. Of course, that's a line from the conversation there about Hank Jr.'s mom.
William Beckham says that he heard in the news that the whole White House staff has the virus. Have you heard that?
I
knew
have
that
not.
Jen Psaki had it, but I didn't know there was more people. So,
And let me, because I don't know this.
and they're all fully vaccinated, I think he said. But
Mississippi, Alabama was hit hard with that second strand of COVID. I have not seen the headlines that it went really any further than I was expecting another big sweep.
yeah,
Did it slow down after it left here?
I really don't know. I mean, I know that there's still people getting it.
Oh, yeah,
in
of
different
course.
places, but I think it has kind of slown. It's slown a word.
It's flown down.
It's slowed down. No, I really think it has kind of slowed down a little bit, but I don't know if it was just so bad here and we were so worried about it here that I just kind of didn't pay attention to other areas.
I look at the news every day looking for stories for us to talk about, and I don't remember it jumping past Louisiana.
I kept hearing that there was another variant out there, and I have not really heard much more about it.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
kind of fizzed away, so to speak.
I pray that it is.
We do. In
subside.
other headlines this morning, Jesse Jackson, I think most people know who Jesse Jackson is, was at an event, fell and hit his head. He's been hospitalized. We do hope that everything. He's 80 years old. I did not know that.
I didn't realize that either.
And I'm trying to think of that other gentleman that does sort of the same thing he does. He's Al Sharpton. He's gotten up there too.
Yeah, I don't care for him too
Al
much.
Sharpton?
Just his attitude about things, but
But he's gotten old.
yeah.
We go to West Virginia next. And although he's a Democrat, he really, I'm not so sure. He thinks like the common man does in West Virginia. And I'm talking about Joe Manchin. And he says that the election was a wake-up call for Joe Biden, and he should pay attention that people don't want this communist left thing. They want jobs. They want cheaper gasoline, and they want to be able to eat. And that man did not vote with him. He stood
Right.
tall.
Well, I think a lot of these things that that the Biden administration has put out there or backed or whatever, I think people are, like I've said 100 times, they're sick of it, and a lot of people just kind of jumped on the bandwagon and was thinking that it was going to get them their way in a lot of different stances, And I just think people are tired of it, and people want to get this country back on a good track, and parents want a voice. People want a voice. I mean, because they've tried to silence everybody, and they're just tired of it.
I truly don't get this one. But Joe comes out and speaks, because it was all that. When he got off Air Force One the other night, they asked him about the election that went south for him in Virginia. He didn't speak. He comes out the next day. This don't even add up. He blamed Trump for it.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Trump would be against him trying to get a GOP in there. But it was odd. And then he went on to say that it was because of COVID and the price of gasoline.
Right.
Okay, price of gasoline. Hello, we used to drill here. Hello, Joe.
Yeah.
That's your fault.
Well, and also too, I've heard other networks they've come on saying that the reason that the election was lost by the Democrats in Virginia was because that people started playing like a race card, kind of like opposite, like playing because they were talking about the critical race theory thing.
Right.
And people were claiming that, it's not even, critical race theory doesn't even exist. Well, it does. I mean, you
they
can
were
even
teaching
ask
that.
Siri on your phone, what is the definition of, and she has one. I mean, it exists. It really does.
And they were teaching that in Virginia.
They were teaching it. And
But in between that and the kids that aren't protected in Virginia, sharing
Right.
bathrooms is a no.
Right.
No, I don't care where you are, what you do. That's wrong, people. That's got to stop.
it is. It's wrong.
This is another thing that Joe and DeSantis, who is the governor of down in Florida, has come up with this. The people that were, when Trump was in office, a few of them, and it's been going on for years in the United States, it wasn't just Trump, it was separated from the family, where Joe is considering paying the family members $450,000 each. He goes, no, I'm not. Well, DeSantis has got the paperwork where they're doing it with a cap of $1 million per family. Joe is denying it. They've got the paperwork that they're in negotiation. They got sued over it, and he's wanting to pay them off. That did happen, whether you want to admit it or not.
Right.
I guess in some people's mind, if you argue and you go, no, it's not so, it'll go away. It doesn't.
Yeah.
The truth is the truth.
right.
New Jersey, as they've announced that the Democrat barely or narrowly won the governor's race, the GOP member goes, whoop, hold on, y'all. We're doing a recount. It was within 1%. So they're expected to be another recount in New Jersey for the governor
I
there.
think they do need to, if it's that close,
Yeah,
I
no matter
always
what
thought
size.
anything that was that close, they would really kind of double check it, But-
Now, here's the most shocking thing that I've ever read in my life. Back in 2017, the election ran for the New Jersey senator, the Democrat. He spent $20 million on the election in 2017. This time, a truck driver decides, hey, I'm going to run against him. He spent a total of $153 against the man, 66 of that down at Dunkin' Donuts for donuts for his staff. And he won. Huge, walked away with the election. Of course, he's never been a senator. He's a truck driver. $153 was spent. Does that not tell you that people do not agree with that man that's been up there in Washington who is a part of the swamp?
Well, real people is what people want to represent this country. Real people who have real ideas, not just this craziness that people want to put out there, that's been up there for years. They hadn't done a thing except stir the pot,
I'm still sitting over here
People are tired
giggling of
it. But
$166 of it was spent on donuts, and the rest toward the campaign thing. He had $10,000 donated, but he didn't spend it all, and won. Google that
that's
story
great.
if you want a great chuckle today.
I think it was great.
I,
That tells you that people, they want to change.
I think you hit the nail on the head. There is a change coming, and the midterms, to where all of this, it's okay to wear a skirt and go in a bathroom and be with women when
That's correct.
that should never, ever happen.
Well, we knew when all that happened that people were going to be. We said it. I mean, just like this kid that did that to that young girl at school. I mean, he was not even. They said he wasn't even transgender. That he just was. I mean,
There's a
lack of a
story.
better word, a pervert. I mean, really.
Yeah. In North Carolina, there's a headline out today where a young girl goes to the school and said, I was sexually assaulted in the bathroom. The school dismissed it, didn't do anything, expelled her. Now, the courts are involved and the guy's been arrested. It really did happen.
Yeah.
So I truly, these school boards, and there's another school board election that went to the wire. School board elections are almost getting like as important as a Senate race as to who represents your children.
There's a lot
at
of
school.
parents stepping up, running for, trying to get the, school board memberships or whatever, places on the school board. Parents are stepping up and doing that.
And
they want to be a part of the decision making for these kids.
And I say this on a local level. These, a lot of times the school board elections are held and it's just like,
Well, people don't even
those-
know their name. They don't even
Yeah.
know who's on them and stuff. I mean, I know. I've been the same way. But
it's important.
It is important, and it's important. And I think that COVID, like I've heard people say, COVID brought a lot of stuff to light. You know, when you were stuck home with your kids, you figured out a lot about when you're doing the homeschooling thing. A lot of people did. What they were actually learning at school, you know, and stuff. And I mean, I feel good in our area that we've not had to face a lot of that kind of stuff, you know, as far as like bad things being taught to our kids. I mean, I think we've done a good job, you know, in our area.
Absolutely.
But like in other states and stuff where stuff like that was going on, it was devastating to parents, I would imagine, to realize what was going on. You know,
and I say all that as if it can happen over there, it can make its way here.
Yeah.
So always get out and vote. Know who you're voting for. Know what they're thinking. That's important. And you know, you can think differently than me, and that's okay. Vote for the person who thinks like you, that want to represent you in any office.
And and you know, just like the presidential election, you know, there was a lot of promises made, a lot of things that they said they were going to do, but look at what they've done in the past. You know, not just what they're talking about they're going to do in the future.
Correct.
Look at what they've done in the past.
There's a record. It's called a voting record.
Yeah.
Did you even show up? There's so many people that never show up for votes that are so important.
Yeah.
They don't represent you after they get to where they're going.
Right.
That's thoughts.
A lot of people say things just to get elected.
That's right.
You know, so.
There you go. Small thoughts on elections that are going on all across America now. As we turn to think about your family, and that is a very, very important subject. We talk about this with our friends at the Precast Group. They're here in Meridian, and what they do is take care of you when it comes to a storm shelter, because this can happen in the middle of the night. What do? There's a tornado bearing down for your area. Well, you go to your tornado shelter. This is peace of mind. These are built right here, designed here. They can deliver it, put it in your home when it's built, or bring it out later and set it up outside. Solid steel door, concrete, weighs over 20,000 pounds, will not be budged. Now, this could be bolted down. It can be arranged in any way you want on the inside there. You can do that. That's one to look at. Also, a different model to choose from of those that are buried in the ground. Do it any way you want. That's the way it looks there. See them at the Precast Group. You can call them at 482-0003. Drive out, take a look at it. They'll deliver this, and you'll have that peace of mind. It's all at the Precast Group for your shelter, so waiting on you.
I was heading over to Meridian, and I was involved in a serious accident. I never made it to Meridian. I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we head toward the top of the hour. Another subject that is big in America right now. NFL players. They make a lot of money, and they sometimes think that they're a notch above you. Have y'all seen this story? It's horrific. A Raiders. He come from the University of Alabama. I forget how many million. He was a bunch of millions a year. Driving a Corvette at 156 miles an hour, drunk. Hits a lady and her daughter. They burned alive as she screamed to get out. They could not get the lady out. She was trapped in her car, and she burned to death. All because he was in a fast car, had more money than he knew what to do with, and drunk all at the same time. Her and her child have lost their life.
It's awful.
156 miles an hour.
Horrible, horrible.
Here's a picture of the car after the wreck. That's what it looks like there as he hit her. Just so sad. Your compassion goes out to the family there. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I don't either. That is horrible. Horrible. So many people get behind the wheel after they, you know.
Before he even made it to trial, the Raiders have dropped him. He is no longer an NFL player and probably will never return, is facing jail time, and will most likely head off to prison. I think he's 22 years old. He will spend some time in the pen over this. He's at a thing, I don't think, I'm not really sure if he can get bond at this point. The attorneys are trying to get him bond.
Yeah.
But he needs to stay there and think about what he done. That somebody's lost their life and never will be back.
Yes. Goodness.
Let's see here some.
Like
Let's see some others. We got a couple of minutes here of. I brought that up. Will Smith didn't like his dad, and at one point, didn't. They've done an extensive story. His dad abused his mom, and he said he even thought about taking his dad out. I'll word it that way, for treating his mother so bad. I didn't know Will grew up in a child like that. He went on to become a great actor. He got some weird things going on in his own family there that I don't
there
quite.
is some odd stuff going on. They said his dad was a violent alcoholic, and that is a awful sickness.
It's a disease.
And I mean, it's unfortunate that people who a lot of times have stuff like that going on, when they're not drinking, they could be the best person in the world.
Yes.
And then when they get that drink and it just continues,
They become somebody else.
They do. It's like a Jekyll and a Hyde type thing. And they do things when they're drinking that they normally might not do when they're, and it's horrible because people lose their families.
That movie, I Can Only Imagine,
Yeah.
it really dealt with that same issue there.
They lose their families and, it's just sad. Sad.
It is. Help somebody if you can.
Yeah.
We want to say thank you for dropping by and letting us in your house, your car, wherever you may be sitting out. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Yes, we always appreciate your comments. I say that every day, but we do. Each and every day. We look forward to seeing comments and being here. So
See you tomorrow.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by